versus NiP on the map.
They've actually been stopped fairly handedly by NiP as well. It's mainly been like 16 to 12, 16 to 12, 16 to 12, 16 to 3. So TSM have had a rough time versus NiP on Nuke, even though this is one of TSM's best map. But then again, it's one of NiP's best map as well.
Well, let's see. Actually, TSM are in a pretty favorable position here. We have to see if they can keep it together. But if they can start off CT, that would be huge for them. And now we have to see if Allu can continue to dominate, but he will not. He falls short, and TSM will get the best start possible. They get the start on CT side Nuke.
Well, you say that, but then we go back to remember the game they had versus NiP at Katowice. They had a brilliant T side. I think they absolutely brilliant T side, got off to a hot start, and on CT it was pistol and stop. And that was it.
It's true, but I'm just trying to go like, okay, you know, if we can reset, and that's what TSM need to do, if we can reset and everything goes according to plan, the way things should go.
Yes.
You know, if we can look at these teams and be like, okay, you know, in theory, this is how things should develop from here. This is how things should play out. We should see the pistol round go TSM's way. We should see them be able to bounce out and start getting some control.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be out of the question to see TSM, if they pick a pistol, maybe win the first half 12-3 or 13-2. That TSM are definitely capable of it, but they have to have a better performance than what they did in Poland.
Well, let's see what we have coming up already, because we're into the pistol round now, and NiP are going for the straight-up fight. They've got 4 Kevlar and a smoke, and already you can see Forrest. Well, you can't see Forrest. It's Device who's actually going to be holding out in Garage. And he does actually get split up here a little bit. One guy behind T-Red, 3 guys out in the yard, and he spots a lot of info here for TSM as far as the setup that NiP are bringing to the table here. cajunb is going to catch out Allu, and it's a quick trade out in the yard. Cajun taking a little bit of damage. But they have to be careful here, TSM. They can't afford to give away too much. And Get Right just gets that peekaboo kill onto Sipnix. Big kill there for him. He's got that Kevlar Tech 9 combo. It's so dangerous. He can be so explosive with this because he can afford to take some damage. So long as he doesn't get headshot, he's just like this one-man army.
The issue for NiP now is that they took so long to actually decide to go towards ramp that TSM are in as I say that, Forrest just removes dupreeh from the map. They were in really good positions to actually deny a bomb plant.
Oh, well, there you go. karrigan just deciding to take matters into his own hands. Comes in, gets a great kill there, but he's taken a lot of damage in the meantime, and that's down to 32 for him, 19 on Cajun, so not a lot of room for error here. And there you go. Xizt catches out Cajun in the vents. And where do they decide to go from here? Because they've got 30 seconds, and it looks like NiP are looking for the change-up. They're going to go to that upper site, and karrigan just comes out blazing, but Xizt will shut him down, and that is going to be the pistol round going NiP's way. TSM continue to struggle.
And that was really simple mistakes made by TSM that allowed NiP to get back into it. If dupreeh just holds behind Silo, waits for NiP to actually commit further down towards the bomb site, he might be able to either pick up the plants there or one of the NiP players trying to get into a better position. Instead of just peeking out when NiP are initially getting into the ramp room, then it could be a completely different story.
And what a shot from Forrest. Just crouches down, lands that headshot. dupreeh now just going to go for the wild spray through main with the 5-7, and he gets caught initially. I mean, eventually he gets mowed down by that Bison. There it is. cajunb does manage to come around through Garage and pick up one. That's Get Right down, and there's the flank coming in from karrigan. Not sure if he spotted Allu up there on the edge of the smoke, and Allu turns away. This could be a golden opportunity. karrigan looks to run and gun, but he's not going to get it. Forrest shuts him down, and Allu now looking for a shot, but he's not going to manage it. It's just going to be Sipnix left. 1v3 here. And not sure if they were close enough to hear that ladder, but he is going to drop down to the upper side. He gets the proper read, but he has so little HP to work with. He just has to stop this. 1v2 now. Playing behind the silos, worried about the flank, and he steps out right into the open, into friberg's waiting arms, who had that SMG. So friberg makes 1,200, and he's going to be very pleased about that.
Yeah, it's still an okay eco for TSM. It could have been way better. If karrigan lands that shot onto Allu, and that's a shot he should be able to get. I think he's like too
excited.
too excited, too familiar with having the Tech 9 in a situation like that. It's just 2 clicks with the Tech 9 and just keep on gunning down people around you.
It's also just like he was like a split second too late as well. Yeah. So, you try to force it, and then, panic mode sets in and you just can't quite get it done. Double nade out here behind CT Red, and Device gets knocked down to 9 HP to begin with. Looking for that shot. Onto Forrest, who's waiting on Silo. friberg instead is going to wrap around and take out karrigan. So that was a push through radio, actually. karrigan trying to get a lot of info early on, but friberg making sure that he watched NiP's back. A lot of damage being dealt here to NiP, though, but Get Right does manage to find Cajun. And so far, NiP are looking pretty stable. Not sure if they've figured out that Device is still lurking back here behind CT Red.
There's still room for TSM to actually put on quite a bit of damage onto... Well, there you go. dupreeh with 2 frags.
But friberg manages to get control of the upper site, and Device is still out here. Looks like he's managed to tag Forrest fairly low. Forrest down to 20 HP. Just playing very carefully behind the little nubbin on top of Silo.
And you can see Forrest is just buying time for his teammates to come around.
That's all he has to do at this point. Step out, and he is not going to be able to get that kill. Decent damage dealt for an eco. 2 kills here for TSM, but they really now need to lock it down in this round. The first buy round begins here for the Danes.
Yeah, this is where the battle starts, really. Because if TSM manages to lose this round, then NiP have already done their job. They've gotten the amount of T rounds they need, and anything after that is just a bonus. For TSM, on the other hand, they're not even going to be able to get an AWP on device. It's just going to have light Kevlar in the flash.
And look at the aggression from NiP, just looking to get control of Yard very quickly here. dupreeh dropped fairly low, down to 40 HP. And Device still holds in garage, so he hasn't shown himself yet. Very passive position to hold here as well. Just waiting for NiP to commit themselves, and there you go. First kill goes his way. Does manage to get right first.
And this is something we see NiP do pretty much every single game they play on Nuke. Just a barrage of people out into Yard, and they keep finding picks.
Yeah, dupreeh does manage to bring it back somehow. Takes out Forrest, but then he gets caught in main by Xizt, and we're into a 3-on-3 now. NiP still have superior gear as well, still a good nade count, whereas TSM are down to a single flash to stop the eventual push that will be coming in from the Ninjas.
The problem for NiP right now is the fact that Xizt is down to 10 HP, Allu's on 59, so they're going to have to get in towards one of these sites unscathed, and that's going to be so tough to do because, as they alluded to on the desk, rotation time on Nuke are so fast that they're not going to really have that much time to actually set up, and cajun takes out friberg, so now it's only the low HP members on NiP left.
Yeah, and that's worst case scenario. cajun does get dropped. Don't you dare drop off this beam, cajun. Imagine he just like died there. That'd be horrible. And he's still only on 9 HP, changing up his position here, trying to be unpredictable. This is very good by him. And Xizt looks like he's trying to work his way through hell, perhaps getting up catwalk. Only 10 seconds left here for NiP, so they just don't have the time. And it looks like they're just going to be backing off, trying to hold on to the gear that they have. If Allu can live, that's not too bad. Xizt catches the rotation, but cajun is going to return on him. And Allu's going to be the sole remaining member here for NiP, but he's got a full nade count, the AK, the Kevlar. He has everything he needs.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty nice move by Xizt, because by getting that third member on TSM, it's going to be much harder for them to actually buy up for this round, while NiP, they're perfectly fine. They had okay ecos, and they're going to be fine buying up with all the nades they need, really.
And no AWP for Allu. They had the money for it. They had the money before it, but they prefer to stick with the AKs right now on NiP's side.
But it really fits, because what we're going to see pretty much every round from NiP is they're going to smoke out, get that smoke screen going in Yard, and then just push out with Forrest on top of Silo. And just going to repeating that over and over and over again until it doesn't work, and they rarely meet someone who's able to counter it.
That smoke that goes down there, that's an aggressive CT smoke, and well, NiP used to love doing this, so they know that somebody could be waiting around here by T-Red. Device, however, he will finally best Forrest in that duel and take him out for the map, so Forrest is no longer on Silo. They don't have anybody waiting. Eye in the sky is down, and dupreeh with the double kill finally catches him out. Allu and Get taken out for the map. Xizt and friberg are the remaining 2 members, but Xizt gets caught out in the open by Device. And that bomb is just in the middle of nowhere, but friberg, he does manage to get a very good kill onto karrigan, coming onto that A site. He does know that somebody is waiting out here, however, in Yard, so he's got to play fairly careful here.
The problem for friberg is actually getting to that bomb and doing so without running into every TSM member. You can already see TSM set up in a triangle.
Too many angles. I mean, just an impossible situation for friberg.
And I think even though dupreeh managed to pick up 2 frags there, I think the most important frag of that round is actually Device besting Forrest on top of Silo there, because Forrest is able to be such a nuisance to any CT team as long as he's making his presence felt from Silo. And he's got the aim to basically just erase people whenever he feels like it. So that's really good for TSM, and they have to keep that up, because it's going to be the go-to move for NiP during the buy rounds. And everybody knows that. They've known it for several years, but they haven't been able to do anything about it.
Now it seems like it's going to be a bit of a change here. Look at this. Allu and Get both getting up on top of Silo. This is a pistol round coming out from NiP. After the force buy of the last round, they're just going to be back down ecoing, but this isn't a problem for them. They do seem to want to just continue to apply the pressure. Device takes an ultra passive position way back into CT spawn. cajun holding from hell actually gets tagged up a little bit, but he's going to keep NiP honest, make them doubt. Whereas Device is still looking to find that kill onto Allu if they can. It seems like NiP just want to gather out in the Yard. The bomb is waiting in Squeaky, so they are looking towards this A site if they can actually manage to get here. But look at Get. He's going to go for the style play. Does he land the drop? Does he land the jump? Ben, call it now. Does he do it?
No, it's going to end horribly.
This position, he's looking to jump up on the sky, and he's going to do it there, and he falls. What? Get tagging down Device mid-air with the Tech 9. Device is going to be furious. Absolutely furious about that. He still has nightmares about Katowice when that happened again. But there you have it. Xizt does manage to return, and this is just the all-out brawl.
But how does that even happen?
I don't even know, but Device, he's watched the demos like 10 times from Katowice, and that's all he says. He's like, that double tech 9 from Silo, that double tech 9 from Silo.
Get right, just saying, that was something. I think that's the most aptly way of describing that.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, yourself Katowice too.
I mean, that is just ridiculous.
Oh man, get right. Well, it's a good thing that the Valve does say that the Tech 9 isn't accurate, right?
Look at this. Let's relive the glory of this. That's what?
Jesus.
How does that even happen?
Well, I guess on the positive side of things, TSM do pick up the round, even though Device is completely broken in every shape. Dude,
Device has got to like shake that off, because if he starts thinking, if he starts thinking Katowice, V2,
how can he ever feel safe when things like that happen?
That's gonna knock your confidence a little bit. What a shot from Get Right. That's gonna rattle him, but that doesn't rattle Sip, who holds down ramp, does a very good job of it, takes out Xizt. So there we go. Man advantage now for TSM. Fresh smoke to go down and block off that ramp area.
And again, see here, NiP setting up the same way, Forest and Silo, Allu and Get Right setting up the smoke sphere, and we're gonna see the same thing over and over, and it's on TSM basically to just find a way to handle it.
Once again, the push comes through. Getting down onto main, they actually get right below it. Device, he has to hear these steps. He has to know that they're going to be coming for him. And they go straight down secret this time. NiP not wasting any time, but Device is in position. He gets so much information, and that allows for dupreeh to set up right here on long and holds. Drops the bomb carrier. Big frag there. Spots out the second mine and completely controls his spray. Nearly gets the third as well, but he runs out of bullets. And this is already it. Forest one step ahead. He got the read, but his timing was just off, and Device is going to come around that corner and take him out. Xyzt, in the meantime, had already picked off friberg, and that is a very clean round there for TSM. That's exactly what they needed to get their confidence back.
Yeah, and so far it really seems like TSM, as most top teams should, they're aware of what NiP are doing, but they're actually making the right decisions as to how to handle it. And obviously you could argue that NiP, when they get down into secret, they should peak as a team. They shouldn't go in one-on-one versus dupreeh. So that's something that they can work on and actually fine-tune as the game goes along. But for TSM, this is a really good sign.
dupreeh continues to reign supreme out in the yard, at least. Takes a peek from main, picks up his first frag. Device is there to click them away, but Xizt will come back with the CZ75 and find the kill there. Xizt now in main, trying to apply the pressure and catch somebody out. But dupreeh is going to be able to step behind the boxes on site and get a full reload off. So now things should stabilize here. It seems like they've picked up on Xizt being out in the yard right there in cage, and he's already here to cut off this point of access to the site.
Yeah, dupreeh's not going to allow him that pleasure.
dupreeh with a quad kill, man. Looking to, maybe pad some stats a little bit, just be like, yeah.
Yeah, going up against Ecos.
The thing is, dude, this is exactly what needs to happen to get dupreeh fired up. He is such a confidence player that even anti-Ecos, it doesn't matter. If he's getting kills, that's when dupreeh is at his most dangerous, because he only becomes more powerful. It's just like, the more souls he consumes, he gets bigger and bigger.
Exactly, and having 12 frags already, that's going to be massive for him. He's going to have that good feeling and that rhythm for the rest of this game, or at least for the rest of this half. Unless something similar, he gets the device treatment, I suppose.
Look at this play here from Forest, straight down onto the lower side, not wasting any time at all. Goes through that door, and now he's on the bottom site.
Yeah,
TSM have to worry about this.
Get Right's with him as well.
This is very dangerous now. TSM in a bit of an awkward spot. They have to worry about their backline, about getting flanked from below. And there you go. You see Xizt already. He has to start using smokes to block off ramp to make sure that, hey, this guy can't actually push through. And Get Right catches Xizt out. This is horrendous now. Although dupreeh does manage to return and take off friberg. Big kill, and he drops the bomb as well. So important. That's such a big kill for TSM to come back and get some control in this round.
It's a massive kill because that actually means that NiP have to go back towards that play. So whatever initial positions they got from pushing down into vents, they don't really matter that much anymore, because at some point they have to pick up that bomb.
Well, cajunb does manage to pick up Get Right, but then Forest comes back into it. So a quick trade at ramp, but the man advantage is maintained by TSM, and that's the important part right now. They need to be able to keep their eyes on the bomb, and that's Device up on Cat. And Device peeks out in yard and spots out Allu. Allu not going to hit that, and he turns away just as Device takes the shot. Forest now down here with 18 HP, pushes into radio, gets spotted out by karrigan. Is he going to be able to get the kill? No, he will not. karrigan is there to catch him as he rounds the corner, and this is now going to be TSM once again in control. 6-3. They really do seem like they've started to stabilize here.
It really does, and we talked about Allu being so impressive on Dust 2. Right now, he's struggling to find his rhythm. So maybe this is a bit of a role reversal. dupreeh coming into his own, getting a good start to the game, similar to what Allu did on Dust 2, and now, well, Allu's the one struggling, and NiP definitely need him to get on the board for this to work.
I should never have tweeted about him. Caster Curse is real.
And again, NiP setting up with the smoke screen onto Yard. Ooh,
that was such a close shot.
That's a shot he should be able to hit.
Gets a little bit of nade damage onto Xizt. dupreeh does manage to take out friberg, though. So once again, friberg is going to be the first man down. dupreeh just going for the spray, and he's only going to tag it up slightly there onto Allu. But look at this. NiP, very quick play down to long. They've got the bomb on their heels as well, so they aren't going to lose it in an awkward spot. But dupreeh is already here, and Sipnix as well. They're looking to get to establish the crossfire. This line right here is what they want to hold. Get right looking to break that line. See if he can't weaken the defense somewhat. But dupreeh still lurking here in the corner if he can just keep his cool, not give away his position. Looking to catch out Get Right, misses the timing, and Get Right heard the steps. Get Right heard the steps, and he takes dupreeh out. Now it's down to Device, but Forrest, what a fantastic headshot from him. Does not let Device have an impact at all. And it's down to karrigan, and it's down to cajunb. Cajun already tagged up so low.
Yes, Cajun is actually up to save it.
No, that's a great shot there by karrigan to remove Allu. Allu's luck just still a bit risky, but Forrest, look at Forrest's position. He's in toxic. They're not worried right now, NiP. This is why they can push around like this and start looking for the TSM members, is because they have Forrest as the guarantee.
Yeah. And the biggest difference from what we saw this time around for TSM.
Can he get there in time? Can Get Right get there in time? Is this it? Does he do it? karrigan! The clutch! The 2-kill of the Ninja! What? What a mistake! What a mistake! NiP, that was their round. I cannot believe it.
Everybody had given up on that round. Even Cajun, even before karrigan got that first kill, he was on his way to T-Spawn. He was already giving up on that round. karrigan.
What a comeback, karrigan. Now, if ever there was a round to fire up your team, that is it.
That could be the decider. That could be the difference. NiP are going to be able to buy up now, but this is a bit of a last-ditch effort. And ooh, dupreeh tagging up Get Right down to 4 HP.
Allu takes the fight, though. Going to chase him back around to the corner. dupreeh gets dropped down to 4 HP. Get Right on the hunt. Wants to get this kill, but Cajun is there to lock it down and make sure that Get Right will not have any joy this day. Forrest, however, does remove Sipnix from ramp, and that weakens it up. 3 players down there from NiP now very quickly, and with the bomb as well, so they can start applying the pressure to this lower site. Allu just making sure that if TSM were to push into lobby, he's going to be able to pick off a rotator. But this is now going to be the karrigan, the hero of the last round, and he gets Xizt through the smoke. friberg, however, from the catwalk is going to be able to pick him off. Now Cajun from Vents. This has turned into a real brawl. But look at that position from friberg, right in the corner. He's going to go rushing into Vents, and what a retake from TSM. NiP doing their damnedest to hold, but it just wasn't meant to be.
And just to touch on that round that we saw previously, the problem that TSM had actually, well, obviously, they won the round eventually, but that was, I don't even know what to say about that. But the problem they had was their initial rotations were so much lower, because the previous time NiP have been doing that, dupreeh has already been in position downstairs to actually hold off the push into secret. The previous round, he actually opted to spray through the smoke and actually delayed his rotation so much that NiP were able to get onto the bomb site. And if it hadn't been for karrigan, that would have been an easy round for NiP.
Let's save things now. I mean, NiP have now lost so many rounds in a row that they're going to be able to buy, and if they continue to get plants, it won't be a problem. Reasonable buy coming through, and the gear as well, all with the AWP, and dupreeh with the wall bang onto Forrest. Forrest not going to be too pleased about that. dupreeh's got to be careful, though. Not too many bullets on that M4A1, and he walks right out into friberg's waiting arms. Well played there by friberg, holding that line. And Cajun not able to reply, and karrigan gets picked off from the upper side. Things are getting a little out of control here. There's the peek from friberg, just trying to take point, and he drops Cajun down to 1 HP. But it's a man advantage situation here for NiP. They've got the stranglehold now on the Danes. Device needs to win this duel, and he is. And he drops the bomb as well, right in front of main. This returns some control, and there you go again. cajunb from on high takes out Allu, and the last man here is Get Right. 1v2 clutch scenario, and Device. Not sure if he spotted him there, and yeah, he does. There's the gap. He's watching the bomb. Get Right is waiting for him. Who's going to peek? Who's going to crack? And it's going to be Sipnix from hell to pick off Get Right. He drags him down there with him.
This is just so crazy. So much back and forth, and I'm still kind of shell-shocked by what happened in that 10th round.
I am as well, man.
And
that's
for NiP as well. That should have been that saving round that they need. They've already gotten the buffer from the pistol. Now they get the 4th round. They can build off of that. They can be happy with that. And instead, TSM, they come back into it. And NiP have had very little luck actually with their normal strat setup.
Well, let's see already. This is just turning into the slaughter. cajun and Device picking up the initial frags. cajun with another one. cajun with the 3rd. He finally gets returned on by Forest. But karrigan rotates in, and that was a very quick round indeed for TSM. 2 rounds remain in the half. And NiP starting to look a little desperate here.
Well, yeah, they're actually going away from what their default setup has been, well, for such a long time. Now you've just saw a straight-up A split without any real smokes or flashes or anything like that, just gunning for it and hoping for the best.
TSM have got to be feeling confident right now.
Oh, right, like now they're just
this has got to be it.
Floating on the sky right now.
If they see a play like that come out from NiP, they got to know that they have NiP on the ropes. Now, can the Ninjas, I mean, they're famous for it, you know, that NiP magic, right? Grinding out the rounds. Can they get control back here? And Forrest is going to be taking point here out in the yard, looking to see if he can't find the headshot, takes the duel, and wins it. There it is. The headshot onto cajun, but then dupreeh returns onto GetRight, and that's another big kill there. GetRight been doing so much work for NiP. And Device peeks up and catches out Allu. There's the flank coming in from dupreeh. This is falling apart for the Ninjas, although dupreeh not going to get that kill. With the HE lob, Forrest makes it out in time. That could have been a freebie there. TSM, don't get ahead of yourselves.
Well, that's the bomb dropped by Device. Xizt goes down to the garage, and, well, it's all left to Forrest, and the past rotations from TSM are actually working out so well right now.
It's fantastic. I mean, Forrest is once again behind T-Red, but there it is, the step out from Device. Confident play.
And what we've noticed throughout this game, Device hasn't picked up the AWP to defend yard.
He had it 1 round.
Yeah. That's
but
all.
Yeah, he's
like,
been
normally
playing
he'd
M4A1 right
exactly,
now.
And that's been working out brilliantly because he's so much more mobile, and it seems like he's more confident taking on Forrest with a Colt than he is with an AWP. Whenever Forrest gets up to silo, he's been taking out challenges and he's been successful so far this game, and that's a massive key for TSM and as well as Device's confidence.
And I'm also wondering if it's not like the anti-Tech 9 strat from Device. He's like, I need the 20 bullets. I can't face it with the AWP. Well, speaking of which, cajun gets caught in friberg and Forrest. Double entry frag for NiP. So once again, the yard rush works. Now can they actually hold? dupreeh with the headshot. karrigan holds his ground in main. dupreeh with the double kill. He finally gets rushed down by Allu, who is now on the board. But we're into a 2-on-2, and there's the flank coming in from Xipnix to end the Ninja Dreams.
And again, rotation from dupreeh, just fast enough to catch NiP off guard.
But that's what it's all about on CTs.
Oh, yeah,
it's
getting that communication
rotations, and do not hesitate with the rotations. You need to be in the right place at the right time.
And that's where the communication bit comes in. Just getting the correct information, quick and concise, so dupreeh can actually act on it. And they've been doing it. They struggled with that. At Katowice, they even said so. But they've clearly figured something out today.
All right, well, let's see now. This is just all mind games. And GetRight, they heard the step. They heard the step. They know exactly where he is now. And karrigan, he just can play the angles. He doesn't even need to take the fight straight up. There's the Molotov to give some ground, but there's a crossfire setup here for TSM, and this is going to be incredibly difficult for GetRight to come back into this situation now. 20 seconds left. He needs to get 2 kills or get this bomb somehow, and he's just going to end up walking right out in here. The blender is ready. Tries to close the angle. There's the peek. GetRight gets 1, but he cannot defeat Xipnix, and it will be, after the pistol and the following 2 rounds, a perfect half for TSM. A wall of blue.
A wall of blue. And they played a brilliant T-half at Katowice. And they're clearly feeling it right now. This was a completely different CT side from what we saw in that very same game. So you have to be very confident in TSM's chances here to bring it to a 3rd map.
If ever there was a time, right? If ever there was a moment, this is it. You know, that whole undefeated streak on NiP. I mean...
Yeah, and we talked about it pretty much in the middle of the game. dupreeh got off to that hot start. He had a brilliant first half, 19-7 and 9. So he was definitely feeling it. And you could tell, rotations were crisp. He was able to help out Device there. Device played it smart enough to not overextend most of the time. It allowed for them to buy time for dupreeh to get into a good position downstairs.
And you have to give it to cajun as well with the support from Cat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, he was always heaven. I mean, heaven, Skywalk, or hell, just like everywhere, just supporting Device, making sure the Device didn't feel like he was left all to his lonesome out there.
Yeah. The TSM just played a very, very, very good CT half, and one of the big reasons why NiP got so into it on Dust 2 was Allu, and Allu is having a rough time right now.
Yeah,
he needs to get going. So for NiP, I think, well, obviously they have to win the pistol round. That goes without saying.
If they lose the pistol round here to TSM, it's a catastrophe.
Yeah, and actually a bit of an issue, something I think might come into play is the fact that Allu plays ramp. People rarely actually go ramp. So he might actually be bogged down with that bad start and not really have the opportunity to get into things.
Well, already Forrest playing his usual rotator role. Drops the first smoke for Allu, and then that's pretty much, this is all going according to plan. NiP not doing anything special, nothing different. Not sure if Get Right spotted that man running past there, but he might hear the steps, and this is going to become like a bit of that Snacks Get Right moment. Playing through the smoke, playing on the edge. Karrigan making noise below. He's got his Tech 9 in hand. Feeling the beast. And there's the smoke to start drawing attention to this position on the map, but this is all about a fake. Karrigan just creating as much noise as possible. Instead, this is going to be a lobby push coming out, and there you go. Peekaboo Force with the headshot instantly under dupreeh, but cajunb returns. friberg doing the best he can to hold, and Get Right caught behind CT vent. Great nade, and this has turned into an NiP round, and the turnaround. Perfect hold. NiP, they don't fall for it for 1 second.
And it really seemed like NiP, they knew what they were about to get. They know what TSM were about to serve them. Karrigan going for that fake under. It was actually a really well sold fake, but NiP just knew. And they said it before, they've practiced so much versus TSM on this map. They feel like they know the ins and outs of this Danish team on their T side.
I think the key man in that round is Get Right. Just the fact that he's able to get up close. He hears Karrigan run by. He hears just one man run by. And all of a sudden there's noise below. They're just like, yeah, okay, where are the rest of them? Where are the rest of them? So just great sang-froid coming out from NiP, keeping their cool in that scenario and just using their heads. And that's the kind of play that's going to get them back into this map. So they've won the pistol, and now they can continue to apply pressure with the rifles.
And somewhat surprisingly, TSM opting not to actually go for the Tech 9 armor, which is something that you've seen on every map they've been playing with actually fairly high success rate. But it seems like TSM are more interested in just getting into those buy rounds, getting AKs right off the bat, that type of thing, and start to grind out rounds on their T side. And they did so successfully at Katowice, so you can't really blame them for going back to a tried and true strategy.
Tried and true method.
Yeah.
As another round of pistols comes out for TSM. So they just continue to want to build, to develop that bank. And NiP perfectly happy with this scenario. Now they just go straight up to nades. They aren't wasting anything, actually. They don't. The thing is, NiP can't afford to take risks in this scenario because they don't know if the Tech 9 buy is going to come out. So they have to cover all bases. So they just spend all their money on the nades, on the rifles. It's just Allu with the shotty. And there you go. First shot in, not going to hit it. And he might get overwhelmed here. This is getting far too dangerous. Doing a great job of buying time. Xizt will pick off Karrigan in the meantime. And the quick rotation down to the lower site. Get Right trying to get into position in the vents. And he's going to pick off two. friberg is there as well. And this is definitely looking very solid here for NiP. 2-on-3 scenario here, and Device looking to use the shotty. Great nade onto Forrest, chases him around the corner, and Device cannot connect with the shot, but it's a successful round as far as TSM are concerned. They do get that bomb down.
Yeah, 2 frags in a bomb plant. And it wasn't that big of an investment as well. No armor, only 2 Tech-9s, I think, and a couple of P250s. And they're going to be poised to get into this rifle round because this is where the real slugfest begins. And, well, we didn't see that many orbs coming out from TSM on the CT side, but eventually we might be able to see cajunb picking up that AWP, Device picking up that AWP, and see if they can get entry frags that way for them if they start struggling with their rifles. But it's going to be exciting to see whether or not what they decide to do. If they're going to go do something similar as to what NiP did with the smoke screen, and actually it really looks like that's what they're going to go to straight away.
Aim for it, but there's like that's a patented like Get Right nade right there. That smoke behind T-Red like that allows him to get into garage, but it also forces TSM to consider him pushing up to T-Red, being aggressive out in yard, just sowing a little confusion in the ranks there. But there's that smoke screen going down, and TSM are there, but Force is in position in secret. And here's the peekaboo moment. Goes for that shot, holds down, and gets the kill onto dupreeh. Big frag there for Force to start things off for NiP. So important for them to maintain the man advantage in this defensive situation. And it's just going to be continued pressure coming out, but a great shot from Force. He just continues to lay into them. 2 kills for him before they can finally remove him from the map. cajunb returns, but there's friberg with the peek and vents. And this is now just going to be NiP with a stranglehold on TSM. They aren't going to let them get out. Well, they aren't going to let them get that bomb back.
Sipnix does pick up Get Right on ramp, but he's still going to have to go through Allu. And Allu finally getting something
Cajun, can he win this duel? The problem is that there's already man on ramp, but what a shot. Right onto friberg. Man on ramp goes up, looks to take the fight, and he was already aiming there, but Xizt was too quick for him. That split second that it costs you to come off of that ladder and get your feet on the ground before you can pull the trigger, that's all Xizt needs.
Yeah, if you remember that round that Cajun had on Overpass in Couch yesterday, basically just one-tapping people as they shot up. I kind of got that feeling, and the second he moved on with the aim actually towards Xizt there as he was walking up the ladder, I was like, it's happening.
It's that moment.
Yeah. But yeah, here we go. AWP already coming out from Device. Glass cannon, actually.
Yeah, no fear. Only dreams. Device, can he do it? Gets boosted up, and he's looking to see if he can't pick somebody up. But look at this. NiP are one step ahead. Playing passively out in the yard, not giving Device any targets to work with. It's just get right, and this is the dance. He's going to peek, 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 but as soon as he spots anybody, he can fall right back in and play safe.
Yeah, so NiP are going to rely on their rotations towards the low bomb side
And this is a mantra for NiP. This is a mantra. When they're getting prepared for this map, that's all they're saying. But get right, the moment's hesitation stands a second too long, and that works out perfectly for Device. Right place, right time, pulls the trigger and gets the job done.
Yeah, the interesting thing is to see where TSM opts to go from here, because they already open up yard, and they know that. Did they want to go down towards secret, or did they actually want to go for the A split? Lots of opportunities right here, and it seems like they're going to go for the lower split here.
Yeah, they're making their way down long already. We can see in radio, TSM with that bomb, so Allu is going to be key. Yeah, Allu is going to be incredibly important right now to hold off and just bungle things up for TSM.
And he has that Molotov, so he could potentially buy quite a bit of time for NiP to make a rotation.
Well, let's see. He goes for the M4A1, looking to take that fight straight up. There's the flash, and the push begins. TSM are going to walk in. Xyp9x doesn't manage to trade with Forest, but there's Allu to lock it down, and this could be big. The double kill coming in for Allu, and he holds strong. 20 seconds left, a 1-on-2 scenario, and they are just running away. friberg not even needing to take this fight. They know that they've got Device in a very tight place.
Yeah, there's no way you can actually get the bomb and come back to the bomb site to plant, so brilliantly done by NiP. Allu doing exactly what he needed to do. If Allu goes down in that situation, it's going to be a nightmare for NiP, especially friberg, just to try to hold people off.
Device, what are you doing taking a peek like that? Get out! He takes out Allu, though, so that's a nice kill still, but re-peeking when you know you're not going to get any bonus money, we can see he's on 250, because if you live through the round without getting the bomb plant as a terrorist,
no money.
You don't get any money at the end of that round. So it's the risk, it's the gamble, but Device makes it work. He holds on to that AWP, so they actually have some of the higher firepower here for TSM to work with. We can see them actually cobbling together a pretty decent buy with the AKs and the Galils, but very limited on nades.
Yeah, and that might be a big problem, the fact that they don't really have any smoke. So we're not going to see the same smoke screen that we've seen earlier, and actually we're seeing a lot of aggression coming out from dupreeh here.
But what a shot from Forest. Cheeky angle as well from him there. Not a common one. Decides to drop back and change it up a little bit. Very passive hold. Very difficult angle to hold as well.
Right now, it's on Device, really, to find that opening in yard, and you can see Forest already set up in hell.
Device knew. There's the step, and Forest. Second frag for him. And a third one as well. You're not going to get away with that AWP, karrigan. Don't get greedy now.
Bomb already dropped. You can see Xizt9x moving towards there. Ooh, great opening from Cajun on ramp there onto Allu.
But then get right pushing out, making sure that Xizt9x can't get control of that bomb. And now Cajun is basically left on his own.
Yeah, left in no man's land.
What can he do? Well, he can just go ahead and like pad Forest stats a little bit more, right? Hey, yeah. Forest, I know you're top fragging for NiP here, buddy. Let me go ahead and help you out.
Here's some more.
24
Unlimited
kills,
refills, really, for Forest right now. 24 frags.
Yeah, he is leading by a large margin. But Forest always seems like Nuke really does seem to be like Forest, one of his strongest maps, flat out. I'm sure that he can't be very happy with them removing it from the pool, because whenever they play Nuke, it just seems like Forest comes alive.
It's a big game. That's Forest's time. That's when he shows up.
Well, this is going to be the Tech 9 buy coming out from TSM. They have to take a step back and try and eco. And Forest going to take his time, line up the shot onto Cajun, spots them coming through main, and Device is going to get one kill in onto friberg, but Xizt will return. Forest still alive out here, just buying so much time. Xizt9x and Device will finally find the kill on him, so 2 kills going TSM's way. But it's still not over yet. Well, the bomb is dropped in an awkward spot. They have to get control of it, but Get Right is not going to let that happen. Goes for the flank, picks off Xizt9x, and now it's Device all alone, but not for long. Get Right finds him. Just like a movie, you know, like Alien or something. Closes in, there's no running.
Right now, 7 rounds in a row for NiP, and, well, we're getting into familiar territory for TSM. It's this choke territory. It's this choke territory for TSM.
It's so incredibly difficult to get those rounds if you don't get that pistol. Because look at what happened to NiP. You know, they got the pistol.
They got shut out.
And then they got completely shut out. And we're seeing the same thing happen here. When you're good on CT Nuke, you're good. You were so difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
TSM, you know, now we have to see them actually start to land the shots, start to change things up. And once again, they're going for the smoke screen out in yard, and once again, Forrest is going to head into secret. So looking to get behind that wall to spot out any TSM members moving through. Get right spots 1, 2, attempts the spray, helping out Forrest, but Forrest gets overwhelmed. Just a 1-for-1 trade. That's not quite good enough. We need to see friberg come in big, and there you go, doing his dupreeh impression, but only halfway as cajunb manages to take his face off.
Big thing now is Xizt has to put pressure on ramp really to make sure that the one NiP member, Allu, currently downstairs on the low bomb side, has to worry about several angles. Because as of right now, Xizt is just kind of hanging about. And he might actually, this actually might work out perfectly for him because his Xizt is rotating around.
The timing. Unreal. Unreal, the timing, how that works out. And this could happen again as cajunb turns away from long and get right. Happy to shoot him in the back. Now it's just dupreeh alone, 1v3. Let's see if he can do it. It's not going to happen. Allu peeks out behind the silo and takes him out. This is now quickly spinning out of control, Ven.
But the problem for TSM right there, they get the entry facts they want. They trade 1-for-1 with Forrest, which is great. They trade 1-for-1 with friberg as well, which is excellent. You're actually on the low bomb site. You can actually make something happen from there.
And then the word begins with the letter H.
Hesitation. If Xizt can do two things there, like either you have to commit to being extremely passive, or you have to commit to actually putting pressure on from ramp, and he did neither of.
And Allu spots them moving through, and there's already Forrest here in support. The crossfire is glorious! And NiP just completely obliterate the TSM push. Both players survive as well, and here it comes. No surprise. I would have liked to have seen it earlier, actually, but the pause has been called. You are allowed a timeout per map. And TSM are going to use theirs now as we go into 12-12. So it's even for the rounds. NiP have got mountains of cash to work with. And TSM are now in a very awkward position. Do they go for a force? Do they decide to eco again and play from behind, get device that AWP again? What can they do here, Ven, to turn things around for them?
They don't really have the luxury or the cushion to actually go for an eco. That's the problem. So we're going to have to see force buys coming out from TSM pretty much every round from this point on. And I don't think they actually feel like they can find an opening, because you see there, that's the first time they actually try to move quickly towards ramp, because Allu's been alone there for 99% of the rounds, and this is the first time that Forrest actually decides to play up close on ramp, and they absolutely demolish the Danish team. So right now, they're not getting anything working on the outer side, they're not getting anything going towards ramp. The only place that's left over, and this is something I would love to see, just a straight up in a rush.
Just a straight-up inner rush. The only problem is that NiP are consistently just covering, Squeak, Hut with incendiaries. So every time you go for the upper rush, right, you're going to be running through a barbecue.
But that's the problem with actually allowing the CTs to build up an economy.
Well, NiP certainly looks very happy with the situation. It's going to be the Tech 9 buy coming out here from TSM. They used up all their gear, though, so how they're going to get a plant is beyond me. They just need to land some godlike shots with these Tech 9s. But karrigan, the master Tech 9 player for TSM, is off already. He is out, so comes down to Xizt. Not going to happen. Allu catches him out. Device, dupreeh, and cajunb are the last three members here for TSM. The Danes, the struggle, and there's the flash. So Device can't even push as that smoke clears. He gets caught out in the open. Does hit the headshot onto friberg, though, who's down to 10 HP. Peeks out again and gets caught. Device will do it. But now it's down to Get Right holding this angle. Can he actually deny this bomb plant to TSM? That's the important bit here as Forrest looks for the flank, and he's going to get caught out by cajunb. Fantastic shot. And Get Right just starting to feel a little antsy here. Not really sure where they're coming from. 40 seconds left means that TSM could be anywhere. And now, guess what? They've got M4s to work with.
The problem for TSM is that how can they actually safely or confidently go onto a bomb side, be it upper or lower? And I think they actually made a sound. But Get Right's already moved away, so he has no idea. If TSM goes upper here, this can definitely catch NiP off guard.
Look at the angle. But the bomb is going to be able to make its way onto the site. He knows that cajun is lurking behind T-Vents, though, and he knows that one man is on that site now, so he's going to have to try and create a bit of a distraction here for Xizt to be able to get up this ladder. Such a dangerous position for Xizt, but there it is. He catches out cajunb, who decided to push out for some reason. That's going to weaken the defense, and dupreeh cannot get the job done. He cannot kill Xizt. And Get Right, it goes perfectly for NiP. For some reason, cajun decides to push out from Squeak.
I think that was the biggest problem as well. The fact that he tries to get an angle on main, it's so unsafe.
And it's so unnecessary.
Yeah, because he could have easily held off Heaven, and dupreeh could have been the guy pointing at, watching for main. That would have been a much easier situation, because Xizt still has to commit to getting up from that ladder, and if he does, he's going to get spotted out by cajunb. And
That's like a suicide position. To
Exactly.
go up ladder, you get killed 9 times out of 10 if somebody is holding from Squeak, for example. So just, again, TSM, these after plant positions, they're getting the bomb plant. They just can't seem to get it right when it comes to holding down the site. And NiP, I mean, you cannot afford to make mistakes against these beasts. If you step out, get right, we'll be there to slap you.
Yeah. And right now, TSM not finding luck anywhere on the map, and you can see karrigan already down to 8 HP.
Not a strong start here for karrigan. TSM right now, well, they're really pacing themselves. Device going for the return wallbang, and he's not going to get it.
You can see cajunb has picked up an ult now for TSM, watching toward ramp, but the problem is Allu's played that ramp so passively that he's never really shown himself.
I don't think they've gone for a single aggressive radio push.
Well, just that one round where Forrest plays aggressive on ramp with
Well,
Allu.
right, but that's still a passive, like, crossfire hold, right?
Oh, yeah,
they didn't
they
push
haven't-
into
yeah,
radio,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
So there haven't been, like, these pushes to give, to potentially give TSM an entry.
Yeah, and I think that's just a smart way of playing it if you're NiP. And
Oh, yeah, they're making them sweat. Look at this. We're down to 30 seconds, and NiP, like, TSM still haven't seen anybody.
well, they barely moved.
Well, there's the flash. cajunb, once again, wasting more time, down to 25 seconds here. The bomb is right behind him, and he's going to have to create the opening, but he misses the shot, and Allu's going to be able to fall back to the lower site. More time being wasted. 18 seconds. And TSM still not onto this bomb site. Now they have to check the angles. 10 seconds left. There's just no time. Allu's going to catch them as they come around the corner. And it's 9 seconds, 8 seconds. They have to get through, but Forrest is here to deny the plant. And there it is. Just like that, NiP will win the round and get onto 14. And you can hear the crowd behind us go wild. This is now looking like a near guaranteed 2-0 victory here for NiP, unless we can see some kind of magical play come out from TSM right now.
And we're seeing the double up coming out on Nuke.
Well, here we have it.
And given how little openings NiP actually give TSM, they're not giving them any opportunities to actually get an entry frag. How are you going to make that ult work? I don't see this working out for TSM.
Oh, look at how, I mean, again, they give up yard. Ninjas, they're not peeking. They give up yard once again. They're not going to go into garage. They're not going to be up on top of CT Red. It's going to be Get Right, and he's just setting it up. When he does peek, it's behind a flash, and I think he spotted the man on T Red there. Not sure if he spotted the man on main, however.
No, he did.
Yeah, there it is, the shadow. And this is now about to get very tricky. If dupreeh shows himself, he's going to be in for a wild surprise. No smoke on the main entrance either, so there's the flash, and that's all Get Right needs. And there you go. He spots out dupreeh. And the man advantage once again for NiP. Allu is now coming out here to support. He's just completely given up on ramp. They're like, no problem, we're going to go into yard. Device does manage to find the kill on to Get Right, but Allu is still here now to be a threat to force TSM to be honest here. They have to be very careful with how they go down secret.
Yeah, the problem is, how are you actually going to be able to cover off all the angles when you get downstairs with 2 orbs?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
You're going to have to hit absolutely every shot, and so far we haven't seen Device being extremely on point with the orb.
They need a man advantage somehow. They need to catch somebody out from NiP. But again, 30 seconds left. Why would NiP push anywhere? They're going to force the clock on a TSM. They're going to make it so that they have so little time. Well, there it is. Friberg not going to get caught. I mean, he moves down ramp towards the lower side. There's the bomb plant. It's actually going to happen, and there's Device getting the kill. Brings it back to a 3-on-3. cajunb holding on vents. He takes out Forrest. And is this it? Do TSM manage it? Can they hold? They've got that man advantage now, and Allu starts to press in from ramp, but spots the man out in Toxic, and this is almost comical. karrigan getting shot. He makes it behind the doors, and Xizt is now moving in from vents, trying to clear out the lower side, but Device catches his teammate out in the open, and it is now down to Xizt in a 1v3. Spots the man on long. He knows he's in a tough place. Gets the kill onto vents. But he knows it's a crossfire, and this is now just so little time for him to work with, and it seems like he's in the position where he wants to back off, and he will make it out, and he makes it very expensive for TSM in the meantime.
TSM, though, at this point, they're just going to have to be happy about the fact that they won a round.
It can happen. It can happen. You can see it there on the scoreboard, thanks to the update. Wall of blue.
An absolute wall. But what happened? Yeah, we have one sole TSM
The lone
fan.
TSM fan starting the chat. Yeah, there you go. So I think you guys can tell who's favoring who. Although TSM fan is pretty brave. He's still trying to go at it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give him credit.
And then there's a lone Na'Vi. All right, well, Forrest will catch out cajunb in this round again. TSM trying to get in there fast, but Forrest not letting it happen this time. Great control from him.
And they're going to need another round where Device is able to find some openings. He got 3 frags the previous round. And during the afterplant, both him and cajunb were able to pick up those necessary frags right away to keep them in and keep NiP away from the bomb. They have to get something similar than this time around.
Well, Device does manage to clear out Garage this time around. No Get Right lurking there this time around to pick up a kill. Instead, he's in main. The smoke is down, so he doesn't know that karrigan is on the other side. Bomb is making its way through, and it looks like, again, they want to go for the low. Oh, no. Ooh. They're going to go for the boost. I like it.
This is actually really nice.
Can they actually catch them out, or can they just get completely slaughtered by Get Right, who pushes out at the perfect time and catches TSM unawares? TSM needed another 2 seconds there to be able to set up that play, but Get Right, the Sixth Sense, just wrecks their day, and Sipmix now taking the battle versus Allu. He will lose, and NiP are now on match point in the lower bracket finals. They want to get back into the grand finals. They want to have a second go at Envy this tournament.
And the potential final buy for TSM, not looking very impressive.
Tech 9s,
there we
baby,
go,
Tech 9s.
cajunb actually opting for the nades instead. And
for shame,
well,
cajunb.
I mean, this looks like we're going to see the same thing. Smoke screen out into yard and hope for the best.
TSM again, just smoke screen straight out, yard rush, getting below Cat very quickly. Get Right, however, holding up. And Forrest is going to come in and back him up as well. 2 guys now here for NiP, and they see them running past towards ramp, and it's just all over the place. They look for the sandwich, and they do actually manage to catch out Allu. Not before Get Right can get one kill, and it's just a trade. Very quick now. They have 2 rifles to work with now as well, TSM, but the bomb has been dropped, and Get Right is aware. He's still got that 5-7. He's trying to bait them out. Does he hit the timing? Woo! Way too close. And Forrest is below in lockers. What is this? That smoke just currently blocking TSM off, and now Forrest starts to realize, I could get backstabbed here. He has to be very careful. It comes down to timing now.
But this is such a hard situation for TSM to actually pick up the bomb without committing yourself too hard.
With this Device, he snuck his way forward. Get Right doesn't know that he's here. Sipnix takes out Forrest, and now Device looking to catch out Get Right. Does he actually find the angle? Get Right just passively holding right now. He's going to take the peek. And there it is, the opportunity, but Get Right wins, and it's now into a 2-on-2. With 30 seconds left, TSM just a mad dash below, but Xizt is 1 step ahead of them, waiting in the vents, takes the fight, loses it, and now it's going to be a 1v1 between Get Right and Sipnix, both of them so low on HP. So little time, 15 seconds, there's the smoke, there's the plant, and Get Right is going to get the kill. So calm, cool, and collected, and he will be pushing NiP into the grand finals.